Okay, now the next problem, this is 2.5a, for 2.5b I should say, okay. Substitute, then evaluate. Okay, here's my first problem. We have 2x plus xy, and then it says x equals -3, y equals -5. Here's what I do first, okay? Since I'm given replacements for these, okay, before you put them in, put operations. So 2 and x, that means times if there's no sign. X and x is plus, x and y is times. Now, I parenthesize each letter separately. Now, I remove the letters, so I've got 2 parentheses plus parentheses times parentheses. All I'm doing is copying the problem, but I'm just taking the letters out of the parentheses. Now x is -3, x is -3 again, and y is -5. Now, first off, we want to know what's a negative, what's a minus, okay? So that's a negative, that's a negative, and that's a negative, no minuses, okay? Now, we do essentially what we did in the last problem. Now, we have parentheses, but there's only one number inside of each parentheses, so we don't do anything about that. Multiplication. Right there's a dot. 2 and -3, right there's a dot. -3, -5. So 2 times -3 is -6. Then I drop my plus sign. -3 times -5 is 15. So then I add -6 plus 15. That's 9. Okay, next problem. xy minus 4y. X equals -5. Oh, sorry, my bad. I screwed that up. That's the wrong problem. xy minus 5x. X equals -4. Y equals 3. Okay, so x and y is times. Y and 5 is going to be minus. And then 5 and x is times. Okay, now parenthesize your variables. So parentheses times parentheses minus 5 times parentheses. So x is -4, y is 3, and then x is -4. Now we got to know what's a minus, what's a negative, what's a minus. That's the next step. So that's a negative. That's first thing in parentheses. That's a minus, so I make a wall, make it plus, and the number after it goes opposite. So it's going to be -5. Okay? And then that's a -4. Okay? So parentheses, we don't have any. We already have the dots there. Okay? Multiplication. -4 times 3 and -5 times -4. So -4 times 3 is -12. -5 times -4 is 20. Okay. So I add -12 plus 20. 8. Okay, next problem. -8x minus xy. X equals -5, y equals 3. Okay, so put your parentheses. Now empty the parentheses. And x, -5. X, -5. Y is 3. Okay, so what's a negative and what's a minus here? That's a negative. That's a negative to the 5. That's a minus, so we make it plus. Make kind of a wall, and the number after it has to be changed to the opposite, just the number after it. So it's -5, well now it's +5, okay? And that's all those signs. I've accounted for all the signs that look like that, okay? Okay, so -8, -5, that'd be times. -5, +5, there's a plus between them, and then 5 and 3, that's a times. Okay, parentheses, just one there are some, but there's only one number inside of each. Multiplication right there, right there. So -8 times -5 is 40. Here, if you don't know it, just go -8 times -5, 40. And then 5 times 3 is 15. It's positive times positive, and that equals 55. Okay, next one. Negative 2x plus x. X equals negative 10. So we parenthesize the x's, so I got negative 2 parentheses plus parentheses. And we just substitute negative 10 in for the letter in both. So that's a negative sign. That's a negative sign because it's first in the parentheses, and that's a negative sign. So no minuses. So negative 2, negative 10, negative 10. What's the operation? Those are the numbers, at least I know. So that's a times. Negative 10, there's a plus. Okay. So multiplication, right there. So negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. Plus the negative 10. You can get rid of the parentheses because you don't need it anymore. 20 plus negative 10 is 10. Okay, next one. Negative 5a minus 6b. Okay, a equals negative 3, b equals negative 4. Okay, so I parenthesize my variables. Now I empty the parentheses. So a, we're putting in negative 3. B, negative 4. Here, I'll write it bigger, okay? Because that's hard to see on the thing. I'm just rewriting it bigger. Negative 3, negative 4. Okay, that's a negative sign. It's first. That's a negative sign. So I got negative 5, negative 3. Then the 6. That's a minus sign. Okay, because it's not first in the problem, and it's not first in a parentheses. So we need to make a little wall, make it plus, and the number after it becomes its opposite, so negative. Circle the negative. And then that is a negative sign there. So operations, here are my numbers in the problem. Negative 5, negative 3, negative 6, negative 4, all negatives. So there's no operator between the negative 5 and negative 3, so that's times. Between the negative 3 and negative 6, I already have a plus. Negative 6 and negative 4, there's no operator, so that's a times. So negative times negative is positive, 5 times 3 is 15. Negative times negative is a positive, and then 6 times 4 is 24. So I multiply here and here. 15 plus 24 is 39. Okay, next one I've got 8n minus 5m. Okay. N equals negative 3. M equals negative 4. So empty the out, take the letter, we're removing the letter from the parentheses, okay? So N negative 3, M negative 4, or that's a 5, I forgot the 5, sorry, 5. Sorry about that. Okay, that's a negative sign. So we got 8, we got negative 3. That is not a negative sign, that's a minus, so you have to fix it, okay? So, make a wall, make it plus, and the number after it, the 5, becomes opposite. It goes from positive 5 to negative 5. Okay? And then right there, that's negative. So we got 8, negative 3, negative 5, and negative 4. Okay, so the 8 and the negative 3, that would be times. Negative 3 and negative 5, that would be plus. Negative 5 and negative 4, that would be times. Okay, so I do my times. So 8 times negative 3, negative 24. Plus negative 5 times negative 4, that's 20. Then I add negative 4, 24, plus 20. Negative 4. Okay, next one. We have negative 6, parentheses x plus 5, and then x equals negative 4. Now I'm not going to put a parentheses over the x because the x is already in parentheses. All I do is put a negative 4 on top of the x. So we have negative 6, negative 4 plus 5. So if your letter's already in a parentheses, you don't make it, okay? It's right there, you just put it over it. So that's a negative. That's the first thing in a parentheses, that's a negative. So I have negative 6, negative 4, and then 5, positive 5. Okay, so negative 6, negative 4, that'd be times. Negative 4 and positive 5, we have a plus. Now, we're actually going to do the parentheses because we actually have a negative 4 plus a 5. So now I have an actual something I can do in the parentheses rather than just having just a number inside there. Okay? So I've got negative 6 times, and then I figure out negative 4 plus 5. That's 1. So negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Okay? Next problem. So we got 4, parentheses 3x plus 4 with x equaling negative 6. Now, do not make a parentheses on the x because it's already in a bigger parentheses. So we just put a negative 6 over the x and put a multiplication sign. Okay? So I have 4 parentheses 3 times negative 6 plus 4. Okay? Okay, so we're going to figure out that parentheses first, okay? Now that's not a minus right there, okay? I'll circle that. It's not a minus when it comes right after a times dot, okay? So it wouldn't be a minus there either, okay? So I'm going to simplify my parentheses first. So we got 4 out here. That means 4 times. So I got to figure out what comes out of the parentheses. I'm just going to go 3 times negative 6 plus 4. I got negative 14. And then we times 4 by negative 14, and that's negative 56.